Aloha. Recently, I had quite a few questions regarding why am I joining the reserve component and not the active duty component. So in this video, I'm hoping to answer those questions. So when you go active duty, the military owns you, and sure, they do provide housing and they do provide a plethora of different benefits. Some of the benefits are, okay, like for example, medical healthcare. They do provide lots of medical, but you do have to go on base for those. And from what I hear, the doctors over there are not as gentle as they are in the commercial world, right? So I know it's a mixed bag of benefits and what happens, and the quality can fluctuate a lot depending on what happens. But there are other things going on that I would like to discuss in this video. Why, at least for me, reserve component, or I guess the National Guard component, has some few benefits other than the active duty or even the reserve component. For me, as far as time, I have very little of it. I have a busy family. I'm hoping to get into school. I'm hoping to do ROTC. I have quite a few different things going on in my life, and I would really hate to dedicate 100% of my time into the duty. I like to be scheduled and organized, and if I'm active duty, I'm available to the military 24/7, versus with the National Guard component, only like once a month for a weekend. I know I'm going to be on base, and that's okay, but the other, 5, 26, 28 days, they're my days, and I can continue with my dreams and hopes and what have you. So I really enjoyed that aspect. Of course, I realize, that U.S. could enter war anytime, and I'll be, more or less conscripted and shipped off and whatever. But this is why I enjoy kind of the aspect of with the guard, because it's pretty difficult for them to be deployed somewhere combat oriented. Of course, when you look at the pictures and the media, National Guard is just there for humanitarian aid and so forth. Well, we know that sometimes, especially if you're unfortunate, then you can deploy in the combat zone and so on and so forth. But that's with any military. With the reserve component to be activated, the Congress has to declare war, and then your governor has to allow for this to happen. And remember, they can't empty out the whole base. So even if your unit gets deployed, somebody will be left behind to continue the day-to-day tasks, right? You can't just have a abandoned base, right? So even if your unit, which is very unlikely, gets activated, then you still have essentially a 50-50 shot at staying behind. So I like those odds, and I would maybe like the experience of being deployed, but I have a family too, so that's also another question to consider. For me, I waited out, and with some guidance, I was able to pick the National Guard component, as this is exactly what I want to do. So I'm hoping that this will be a career where I'll be able to continue with ROTC and get my master's and so on and so forth. And with this part-time duty, let's say something crazy happens in me and I need to get out or whatever, I know that it might be easier to work something with my commander than being active duty and so forth. So there are lots of benefits on both sides, and it's a very individual thing to do. And for me, everybody serves in their own way. Whether you're a doctor fighting some disease or you're a firefighter, everybody is supporting this country one way or the other, and maintaining peace and order and overall prosperity. And just because somebody didn't serve in the military or in some other component doesn't make them a lesser person. So please keep that in mind as you write and comment and ask me more questions. I appreciate you taking your time, and I'm happy to always answer any questions.